Good morning, YouTube. We've had a lot of rain and everything here is just as it used to be. It's wet. But today I'm finding my chopping block annoying sitting on. I came here a bit later today, had to do some stuff in the morning and went a bit later. So build update number 2. I came here a week ago without a video camera, just me cooking pasta, enjoying being here, testing to see if I could stay warm in my new sweater, knit shirt, pulley. It's called a lot of things many places in the world. It's an Icelandic sweater from Icelandic yarn with a mixture of a bit more softer yarn, a kind lady who's very skilled in knitting. In knitting, that's a difficult thing to say. She's very skilled in making garments like this. Offered a few months back to do one for me. She did it after my measurements, and I am fairly wide up here and not as wide on the waist. So the first model was modeled after that measurement and a size double X, I believe. And from here and up it was perfect, but down here it was a bit wide. So we made some adjustments, and that shirt went to another kind gentleman, and another one a bit smaller was made up, and I absolutely love it. So for the colder months you're going to be seeing a bit more sweater than my trusted Canada shirt. But we're changing everything up. Today is about 2 degrees. I'm wearing this sweater. I'm wearing the Aclima hot wool layer underneath, and a very thin wool t-shirt. That's it. And sitting here with no wind in the humid air. Perfect. So someone just started a chainsaw far away. Well, if you can hear it, I'm sorry. Like I told you many times before, welcome to Denmark. Welcome to this small piece of woodland. There are forest industry workers here. Sometimes even so close I can see them. But let's see. So knitwear and a cold brew, because somewhere in the world, oh, that's good, the time is past 11, and this is okay. Somewhere so build update number 2. I came here today not carrying an axe, but carrying a black plastic wrapped cardboard case. And let's just address the elephant in the room. There is something in there for now. Well, I could go on and on. I know that when cutting towards yourself you always have to be very careful. So I didn't go to the end, I stopped. This is going back in the backpack, going home. So it's a certificate and a thank you note. Very nice, very nice. This is for me. Okay, so what we have here is something that makes me very happy. It's an axe, given, yes. It's a bushcraft axe, yes. But the maker and the history behind this makes me happy. So I'm going to go out on a limb and tell you a story from my perspective. And this is a story that involves a lot of very emotional feelings for an entire country. So I'm going to do my very, very best to be respectful, to be proper, to be heartwarming. And if something is not mentioned or put in correctly, this is because we live in the northern part of Europe and the information we have and get is not always as the people living where this axe comes from is not always entirely correct of how they see it. So, a long time ago, I was in contact with an axe manufacturer in the country of the Ukraine. They had a forge, a blacksmith workshop, and the name was, if I still can pronounce it correctly, Svarojic. They made handmade, hand-forged, handcrafted axe heads, leatherwork, axe handles, knives, woodworking tools, more extravagant leatherwork, big aprons for blacksmithing. They made a lot, and they were very, very talented. What happened from the transition from Svarojic to Fadir tools, I don't know, and I have no business in it whatsoever. Like I told you, I don't know what happened. Sometimes company change, sometimes new management comes in, sometimes things change. But Svarojic changed the name to Fadir Tools. I drew and designed a double bit Canadian felling axe with the company. I made up a description, a design also for a very, very small woodsman pack axe. I have both axes still with me, still in epic condition, beautiful leatherwork. Not even a head has come loose. The metal and the heat treatment is perfect. I have from the same company two wood crafting axes made by Woodsman's finest, Maximilian from Austria, a very talented woodworker. Both axes fine, beautiful and strong steel. So the emotional part is that almost a year back war broke out in the Ukraine. So the Ukrainians was invaded by Russia, and I'm not going to elaborate on what, because we live in so many different places in the world, and what we saw in pictures, what we heard in the news was terrible and horrible, and I'm not picking sides or anything, because human lives matter and people shouldn't fight. And where people live and have their base and have their country, have their own flag, they should be allowed to be. Many years ago, Germany invaded Denmark during the Second World War. Same thing. Many people were touched emotionally, but I would not even begin to compare it, because I don't know the reason for the Russian-Ukrainian war. I know a lot more about the Second World War and why Denmark became occupied or invaded by the Germans. But long story short, work and blacksmithing and axe making and tool making, I don't know if it's back 100%, but it's back and running. So how do you support? How do you help? How do you acknowledge a maker? You go to their social media feed, you like their post, you interact, you comment, you acquire an axe, you use it, you create memories with it, and you become fond of it. We agreed on a bushcraft axe, and I am pretty sure this would be just perfect. It's a head-heavy axe. I love that. This is not a light axe head, not at all. Bit over a kilo, I would assume. One point something, 1.2, 1.3 kilos. Very nice finish on the handle. The grain orientation is okay. Not the best in the world, but for a short axe like this, there's no run out. I can follow the grain all the way to the top, and the construction of the head looks very solid. There would be room for, should the head ever come loose, there would be a surface to strike on to seat the head again. You could drill 2 holes and pound in a wooden dowel, secure the head again with some glue. So if this is a bushcraft axe, let's get to it. That was a pleasure. That was a pleasure. Oh my lord, this is strong. And everything out here is soaking wet. Keep it dry if I can. Well done. And not a fringe or nick or curl or roll on the edge. Nothing. You and I are gonna be best friends. Coming here last time without my camera, I had half an hour messing around with this, and what I did was that I cut 2 equally long poles, almost, for the ridgeline. And my problem is that I would like this to drape 90 centimeters back. But if I only do 90 centimeters, the slope will be very steep. The rain, in my opinion, would have a tendency to hit it in a different way. If I want something to grow on top of it, building a steep slope would be more difficult. So building a longer and more flat surface and slope would be better. So in my opinion, I did 2 poles, almost same length, because the material out here is not the same length and the trees are twisted. So also there's an old tree stump right there, and these have to go above it. So today I think we're going to burn these, place them, get them tied down, get the support logs or support poles strapped in with bank line, and then start constructing ridge poles or cross beams between the 2 sides of the shed. So, ending the video, boys and girls. A shorter one this time, with a special story, usually is. I'm very glad that the new Ukrainian-based axe, woodworking tools and knife manufacturer Strongway Tools are back and running. I will do a proper bushcraft axe test, comparison, specification, if that's something you would like. I would even do something, as I've done this before. I would roll it out against that would be something like the Liam Hoffman axe. We could do that. Same weight ratio for the head. Maybe this one is even a bit more heavy. I don't know. I'll be sure to weigh both axes or 3 axes before I go, and do a video when the spring comes. In terms of my woodshed, that is actually becoming a small shelter. I'm pleased with the progress. We did last time the ridgepole, the support beams, and last time I was here without you guys, I cut 2 pieces of pine, thinking, yeah, this looks okay. And we grabbed that idea, ran with it today, and as you can see, we have, what's it called? The side poles, or the side structural things. And we have the cross pieces, 4 of them. And I have just tossed a little what's it called? This is just to cover it up, so it doesn't look like a half-constructed shelter when I leave it. This will all go away. I'll drape a tarp over it, and then start piling on. I am adding sides. Don't know what I'm going to do, if I'm going to do poles this way tied to the side, or if I'm going to do just like a basket weave or a fence weave, and then do, yeah, and then weave thin branches in between, because the most part of the rain and the most essential item is that the downfall from on top won't go through. So next up is getting the top tied to it, covering it up, and starting the sides. The sides could take a while. I'm not sure if that's going to be a video. When the top is on and the lean-to roof is covered, I'll start piling wood underneath it. So, bit of mumbling. I guess I'm feeling a bit tired. I'm not cold, haven't been cold today, so this, for this weather, is perfect. The fire was stupid today. I'm burning all kinds of leftover material from fast burning, high heating wood. No coals, so every time it dies down fast. I have to be on top of it all the time. So the fire today was not a typical meat fire. That will be for next time. I can tell by the colors of the trees that spring is just around the corner. Everything is turning bright green at the end. I'm coming here Saturday with a friend of mine. We're taking 2 hammocks, having a great time. 2 hammocks, a couple of beers, some steaks, and it will be his first time sleeping in a hammock. He's borrowing one of mine, so that will be interesting, to say none the least. He doesn't sleep well on something that isn't a bed or very soft. So I'm hoping that the hammock will help. I'm putting a very solid sleeping mat in it and a tarp, and he should be all right. So his first time. Yeah. Nothing more from me today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.